So I'm very grateful that my mom allowed me to film her as she made dinner for us this past weekend. So she's starting by putting some oregano and salt at the bottom of the glass container, and then she's placing the ribs on top of the condiments. She does this so that she doesn't have to flip them halfway, and that way they'll already have condiments on both sides. And after placing them, she's going back and adding some oregano, some sea salt, and a little bit of pepper as well on top. You will see my mom has a very simple style of cooking. And then we're placing them in the oven at 375 Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. And while the ribs are baking in the oven, we'll go ahead and get started with the lentils. So I believe she's making just 1 cup of lentils, because dinner was for a small group of us this day. She didn't need many portions. And then she's rinsing them in a strainer, just with water, before placing them in the pot. And so the ratio she uses is 3 times the amount of water for each portion of lentils you have. So whatever amount of lentils you add, just add 3 times the amount of water. And then we're putting them on the stove at low heat. And you'll see my mom just really loves oregano. She basically puts oregano on every single dish she makes. So she's using the same condiments for the lentils as she did for the ribs: oregano, sea salt, and pepper. And the only difference is she adds some turmeric powder to taste. And we'll just mix everything in. Before covering it, we're just checking back on the ribs, and they're looking good. This was about 15 minutes in. And so while the ribs keep baking and the lentils keep cooking, we'll just get started with the salad. promise you that usually when I visit Mom, I do help out while she cooks. But this day, I was just acting as the camera woman. I don't know if you have the same experience as me, but now that I'm older, I realize that I've actually experienced ASMR since a very, very young age. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I'm actually pretty sure that the first times I felt ASMR were times when I was home, napping, or just, about to doze off. Just feeling so relaxed because my mom was in the background doing chores. Oftentimes my mom would be doing homework because she went through university when I was around like 5-6 years old, and as she was doing like homework on the kitchen table or the dining table, I would just bring like a pillow and a blankie next to her and just nap right next to her. Or even as I was older, as I was like a teenager in college, I would, hear her in the background just cooking or folding laundry, whatever chores may be, and I would just feel so sleepy and just go over to my bed for like an afternoon nap. So, this is very nostalgic and also quite relaxing for me. Just the sounds of Mom making dinner, I hope they're as relaxing for you as they are for me. Usually what I do is I go grocery shopping for my mom on Saturday mornings. And then I actually go to my second job on Saturday mornings. You probably know by now I'm a public school teacher, but I'm sure I don't have to tell you we don't make much. So usually I go to my second job on Saturday mornings after having gone grocery shopping for Mom, and then I go over to my mom's house and I bring her groceries, and I visit her and I stay a long while the rest of the day, long enough to be fed lunch and dinner, because I very much love my mom's cooking. My mom cooks in I would say, a pretty healthy way. I don't think she often uses many condiments or like sauces or dressings or anything like that. Even like you'll see later on, the rice we make is brown rice, and there's usually no unhealthy snacks or desserts at Mom's house. If I ever ask for dessert, I usually get an apple or some mango. So so the fruits and veggies here that you see going into the salad are some of the ones I had purchased earlier today for Mom. I'm so lucky that I have a greengrocer's next to my place, which, has a lot of like fresh produce and also prices that are like way more affordable than your usual run-of-the-mill New York City supermarket. And so what we're adding in here, and I say we very generously, what my mom's adding here is some spinach, cucumber, tomatoes, and a lot of peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers, green and red pepper. It makes the salad so crunchy and delicious. Now, something that I've always been impressed by is my mom's peeling skills. You'll see she's actually able to peel the whole tomato in just one go, which I've always found really impressive. When I was asking my mom if I could record her, she said, "Oh, I would love to. The only problem is I'm just very slow." And I said, "Mom, that's perfect. ASMR is actually meant to be relaxing and, if anything, maybe a bit boring enough so that people feel sleepy and doze off." So, this is right up her alley. This is just genuinely the relaxing pace Mom usually has whenever she does anything, which is why I was telling you I was usually very relaxed and sleepy around the house growing up. It's actually quite funny because if you knew me, you'd know that I have the reputation amongst my family and friends for genuinely always being sleepy. I'd be the person going on a cart ride or a road trip with friends, and I'd just be napping, in the back seat. I even remember when I was younger during my partying and early college days, my friends would be come over, we're gonna pre-game before going out to a club or something, and I'd go over to their house and just fall asleep and just take a power nap for an hour before heading out. And so I said, my mom and me, honestly, I'm the same way. We're not big fans of salad dressings or sauces or anything like that. So our favorite salad dressing is just here we are checking on the lentils. They're looking really good, and I wish you could have smelled them because they smell delicious. Right about now, the whole apartment was also smelling like ribs as well. I think my husband is a big fan of black lentils. He puts them on everything. And my mom is a big fan of green lentils. I don't think I've ever said this, but lentils are my favorite food by far. And so here we are making the rice. We use brown rice and rinse it as well, just like the lentils. Fun fact, when I was younger, as my mom was cooking, one of my favorite things to do was to get her to let me play with the bins of rice or grains that we had at home. And so I would sit on the floor with like a big bucket of rice in front of me, or lentils, and I would just put my hands inside of it and just like massage the rice, like play with it as my mom was cooking. I found it so relaxing. Maybe I'll do a sounds video for you with sounds like that sometime. And here we are checking on the ribs. They are all done. This is what they look like after 30 minutes. And they were all baked and juicy and ready to serve. So we're just plating 2 ribs along with some brown rice. And we usually mix our rice and lentils together, so you'll see me placing the lentils right on top of the rice. My mom has a lot of very small appliances, so even her rice cooker, you'll see, is very small compared to others that I've seen. And I'm just giving the lentils a good mix before placing some on top of the rice. We'll definitely have enough leftovers for the next day as well. Most times when I visit my mom on Saturdays, I leave with a lot of food or lunch for the next day. So that's great. And then we're placing a bit of salad there as well. And this is the final product. I hope you enjoyed cooking with us today. We ate dinner together right after plating this, and everything was delicious. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to give it a thumbs up in case you'd like me to do another cooking video in the future. I hope you have a relaxing rest of your day.